Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video here. On the crypto markets, we'll talk a little bit about financial markets as well because we have to, because we just got some major news, which primarily involves the general financial markets. But at this point of time, I mean, Bitcoin is kind of part of that already. So it's basically one thing, but we'll do a full analysis on the crypto markets. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, we'll take a look at XRP, we'll talk about some altcoin news and some specific altcoins that I quite like. But first of all, let's talk about what has just happened, all right? Because we had some major news. There's more major news, which I think matters even more, by the way. But there's more major news coming in about, probably half an hour after this video is uploaded. I will also do a live stream during that news event. That's going to be about the core PCE and the normal PCE price index, which is basically an inflation rate data point, which the Federal Reserve looks at a lot, all right? So therefore it matters a lot. But what we had earlier to talk about that first is this, all right? And the main news event that we need to look at is, well, first of all, employment change was much lower than expected. But then the GDP growth rate quarter on quarter for the United States was also lower than expected, and it was actually negative, all right? So that means that from the last quarter of 2024 until the end of the first quarter of 2025, the US economy actually shrunk a little bit, 0.3%, even though it was expected that it would still grow a little bit at least. So that's bearish, all right? That, well, I mean, I'm not going to, I personally, look, I know some economics. I've studied it partially, but I'm not going to do some sort of a full analysis on if the tariffs cause this, yes or no. Honestly, regardless of what you think about the current political situation in the US, I think saying that the tariffs did this is unlikely. Maybe the tariffs with the uncertainty, who knows that caused this, but it's difficult to say, right? I mean, the economy is incredibly difficult to analyze, and there's a million factors playing into that. But ultimately, I mean, this is bearish, right? I mean, this increases the uncertainty for the US. It could be bullish a little bit later, but I want to spend some time talking about that in a moment in regards to the PCE price index. But for now, this increases uncertainty. I mean, you can see that, for example, as well from the volatility index, which has gone up, and increased uncertainty is bad for financial markets, also Bitcoin. Now, do I think this is going to cause a bearish breakdown? No. And like I said, it could also turn into something positive if we also get lower than expected core PCE and PCE price index data. All right, because then all of a sudden we can start talking about, well, the inflation rate is dropping down, which is the PCE price index. We're seeing some sort of a contraction of the US economy. Maybe we can start talking about some more rate cuts and some quantitative easing. It's very early to talk about that, but that would obviously be very, very bullish for the markets. So yeah, therefore it could still turn around. I mean, I would definitely not panic right now, especially also looking at Bitcoin here, as long as Bitcoin is still holding the range. I mean, we've talked about the level right here at 93,600 quite often already. As long as that level holds, we're still in this consolidation range, right? And as long as we're in this consolidation range, nothing's happening. And I don't think this data alone is bearish enough to cause a bearish breakdown. Maybe if the PCE price index is also higher than expected, we'll see about that in the stream. But for now, yeah, sure, I think the panic can drive prices down lower. But I do think for now that we'll be able to hold support and that we'll be able to rally back up to the top of the consolidation at 95,400. Now, before we talk about some other altcoins, quickly wanted to talk about the premium / signal group we have. It's one thing, but for those of you unaware, sometimes I shout this out. I have my own signal group in which I share all of my own trades. You gain access to a trading guide and access to an amazing community which is fully focused on making you become a profitable trader. Overnight we actually hit some beautiful profits right here on Drift, which we bought very early. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so trades like these do come up, not every week, even though last 2 weeks we did have 2 trades like this. So if you want to make some profits while also becoming a better trader, consider joining. But for now, on to the video, or on with the video. So talking about XRP real quick, and then I'll talk about some other coins, but talk about XRP. This was to be expected. For now, same thing with Bitcoin. I don't really expect the support level to break down. We could spike down lower to grab some liquidity, but for now I expect this support level generally between around 2.15 for XRP to hold, but I expect stability. I don't think we can rally from here unless we get some positive, some very positive PCE price index data. And then a lot of other altcoins right now look very, very similar. All right, so then we're talking about SUI, the major ones, right? So SUI, Solana, Hedera also to a certain extent, where basically they're trying to get a bearish breakdown, right? So Solana below 144, SUI below 3.45, and I think Ethereum as well. Well, Ethereum is actually still holding on relatively well, but it's very much this US opening, which opens in 2 minutes, is going to be crucial for that. All right, we need to reclaim those levels to actually to still have a possibility to rally up higher. If Solana, SUI, all those major altcoins are unable to make this a fake out and to reclaim those past key levels, it's most likely they will actually drop down. Even when Bitcoin can remain relatively stable, a lot of altcoins right now actually look significantly more bearish than Bitcoin, right? So that's going to be interesting. And if we're actually able to reclaim that for Solana, so for example for Solana, and we get something like this, that's actually a buy opportunity. All right, so be aware of that as well. But that's what I think you need to know. I mean, we talked about Bitcoin, XRP, some altcoins in general, and the news. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, I'll be live streaming in about 30 minutes. So hopefully I'll see you there. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.